the universal truths from Bhagavad Gita. In the series of workshop, today is the topic, the mystic question. Now, there are several questions in Bhagavad Gita, but we will talk about the very fundamental mystic question. Our ancient Hindu parampara follows Guru Shishya parampara. The Guru imparts the knowledge to his disciple, and again he imparts to his disciple, and like that the flow continues, and the whole knowledge has approached up to us at this point of time also. In this modern age, we got this knowledge. All our scriptures are in the form of conversation. Guru Shishya Samvada. So Bhagavad Gita is also not an option. Exception for this. Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. This is the very dialogue between the conversation between Sakshat Narayana, Shri Bhagwan, Shri Krishna, and Partha, Arjuna, the disciple. Because he Shishyaste, I am your Shishya. Pratibodhitam. When he asked the question, then Bhagwan started this giving the divine advice, Divya Upadesha. And this was dramatized by our great scholar Veda Vyasa. Veda Vyasa is a complete artist. He unhurriedly he works on. Nowhere is he hasty. In almost every stanza, not only he exhibits his literary mastery over the use of the words, but also employs the, the volume in his simple looking words, the volumes to the careful students in the right context. Now, this drama also is really very a flashback. Actually, the conversation happened on the battlefield, but how it is starting, the beginning, when the curtain opens, there is no battlefield. There is a palace, and on the throne, the Raja, Dhritarashtra, the blind old king is sitting, and Sanjaya having the Divya Chakshu, the Divya Drishti. He has called him and he is asking the question. And there the Bhagavad Gita starts. So Bhagavad Gita starts with the question by the old blind king Dhritarashtra. And this way the drama starts. धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे on the holy plain named as Kurukshetra, Samaveta, assembled together, Yuyutsavaha, who are they? Yuyutsava, Yodhumichu Yuyutsu, desirous to fight. And who all are they? Mamakaha, Pandavaha, my people and the Pandavas, the sons of Pandu. Kim akurvata? What did they do? Sanjaya, hey Sanjaya, what did they do? So this is the question. So question looks very simple, but behind that the words talk the volumes, and that mystic, the secret we are going to see. What the question is that On the battlefield, the holy plain of Kurukshetra, uh, assembled together, desirous to fight my people and Pandu's son Pandavas, what they did. This is the question. Now, how this question actually on the battlefield, Samaveta, Yuyutsavaha, those who are those who are desirous to fight, what will they do? Will they play their cricket or eat some bhelpuri, panipuri and dance and sing? Of course, they are going to fight. So why should he ask such question? What did they do? उन्होंने क्या किया? Actually, he should ask युद्धस्य आरंभ जाता हुआ ना युद्ध शुरू हुआ या नहीं? That should he ask. But he is asking what did they do? So it seems very silly question, but it's a tricky question. Behind this, there is some psychology and also the great history behind that. So that is the mystic. So this question, and when we think about that, we understand how to quest. When we start inquiring, then the we get so many aspects of the philosophy. Actually, this is the question by which we we all the whole universe got the universal truth. And when even we watch some movie or serial or read some novel, so in what standpoint we should see, what aspects we should inquire in that, and how will it be beneficial for us in our spiritual growth, that we can understand if we see the very interpretation by the gurus. So just we read Gita, then we will not understand. So that is why we must contemplate on every verse of Gita. So even though this is the question by Dhritarashtra, but still it is worth of thinking. Now, what is the uh, history behind that? What is the psychology behind that? The way he asks Kimakurvat, so means the blind old king is certainly conscious of the parable's injustices he had done to his nephews, the Pandavas. And he was confident, fully confident about the army also. Both the armies, what the strength, the relative strength he knew. And he was confident that my son's army is definitely larger. And yet he was conscious, he was worried because the past crimes and the viciousness, and it seemed to be weighing heavily on the heart of this blind king. And that is this question has come out because of his heart is heavy. He is very conscious or he is worried. What the what about the war? Now when he asked Kim Akurvat, this is the psychology. Of course, na, the Kaurava's paksha was always injustice. Pandavas were right, they were righteous, and Satyameva Jayate. He knew, and even though they won, they were going to lose. That also he knew. Now, the history behind that we will see. Before the war, we all know that Shri Krishna Bhagwan went as Shanti Doot to the Kauravas. That is known as Shri Krishna Shishtai. So the courtesy, to show the courtesy. Actually, he is not some the Rajadut, but still, without any permission, Bhagwan Shri Krishna himself approached to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan, and he asked them, "Why are you fighting? Please compromise between you. Do not do this fighting." All this he has done that. And if uh, you can divide the nation and you take it half half. Duryodhana was very arrogant and he said, "No, I am not going to give." So Bhagwan said, "Okay, at least 5 states you give them, or 5 cities you give them, 5 houses you give them." But Duryodhana was nothing doing. "I will not give them." "Okay, 5 BHK flat you give them." Nothing doing. He said, "Even on the tip of the needle, this finger is also, this is bigger one. The tip of the needle, the place, that much also I am not going to give. If they are Kshatriyas, let them fight and win this thing." So he was not ready at all. But the very the words of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, like Hanumanji only did the 90% war. He approached to Lanka, he burned Lanka, he killed all the Rakshasas, and he showed the strength of Bhagwan Ram. If a simple sevak, one sevak is so much with strength, then how will be the army and how will be the very master? And that way he already collapsed, made them collapsed. They were very worried, and everything was lost, burned away. Even the wombs, the Rakshasas, they are going to take the birth, they already passed away. So same way here also, this Shri Krishna Shishtai made half the battle won, because of his words they were depressed, their strength had gone, mentally they were not very strong. But this we know. But before this, Dhritarashtra sent Sanjaya as Rajadut to give his message. So that is known as Sanjay Shishtai. This Sanjay Shishtai, before Shri Krishna Bhagwan went, Sanjaya said, was sent to Pandavas. And Dhritarashtra knew Pandavas are righteous, and among them the elder one is the Dharmaraj, Yudhishthira. He is very saral swabhav, kind and compassionate. So he gave the message to him, and he said that महान लोगों को शोभा नहीं देता है युद्ध करना. Those who are great people, they don't suit it. It's not suiting for their reputation. And this message actually affected on Yudhishthira, and he was supposed to get back from this decision to fight and all that. कि क्या करना है, ये सब नहीं चाहिए हमको. So that dispassion is there. But at that moment, Kaivartaka Keshava, Bhagwan Shri Krishna was there, and he said, "Nothing doing." Say, this message, the great, if you think that great people should not do, then first of all, the one who has sent this message, you think about that, and then let them follow this psychology, this principle, and then you come to us to give this message. We will fight. And Bhagwan Shri Krishna just said, "No, you must fight." And but still, Dhritarashtra was thinking that time, the my this principle, this message did not work. But on the battlefield, no one knows that whether Yudhishthira or Arjuna may feel something, he will not fight. And that is why Dhritarashtra has asked this question, Kim Akurvata? What did they do? Are they fighting or not? Are they taking some other decision? So that he wanted to know. Now we will see this Dhritarashtra. Why he has asked the question? Because he is Dhritarashtra. Now, who is Dhritarashtra? Dhritarashtra is Dhritam Rashtram Yena Saha Dhritarashtra. One who has holding the Rashtra, the Satta. So they have snatched the Satta from the Pandavas. Actually, it was their Adhikar, but they have snatched and they were ruling. And those who have snatched, they don't want to give it up. They are afraid of doing. So they don't want any fight. Because if they fight, they will be defeated and they will lose their Rajya. But Pandavas, actually, they are Dhritarashtra. Their Rashtra has been snatched away, taken away. So those who have lost it, they are always eager to fight to gain it again. So they are not afraid of fighting. If we fight anyway, we have already lost, and if we fight, we may get it. So they will be always ready to fight. But here, all injustice and fear, and even though the strength is there, the army is larger, but still this fear was there. Okay, I will lose my satta. And now here, the Rashtra represents not only satta, but from Vedantic standpoint, Rashtra represents the material wealth, bhautik sampatti. So we get attached to all the material wealth, that which is not permanent and that is not giving real happiness to us. And that is really, it's never mine. But we say it is mine and we get attached to that. Asakta ho jate hai. So Dhritarashtra means he is attached to everything. So he is attached to his Rajdhani, Rajya, the throne, and his all son also. His son was not righteous. He was he knew that he is doing all wrong. He has done the crimes, but still he was so attached to him, and he could not stop him fighting. So he was so attached. That is Dhritarashtra. And we also all. So the wealth, prosperity, money, power, position, business, all this, we have all these attachments. All these material things, we get attached to it. And they all are Dhritarashtra. And why all this attachment? Because he is blind. The ignorance, because of ignorance, we get deluded. We don't know what is the truth, what is the right, and what is permanent and what is good for me. We just get attached to it. And even though we hold on it, it will lose away from us. So those are Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra's Patni is Gandhari. So the ignorance is darkness, and darkness weds with Gandhari. Gandhari represents our buddhi, the intellect. And the intellect, of course, no, it knows. The knowledge is there, but knowledge is deliberately covered. She became blind. पट्टी बांध ली अपने ऊपर. So the wedlock of this ignorance and this deluded and blindfolded intellect, what the progeny will come, what the outcome, of course, is ahankar, ignorance and the intellect. together ahankara, the janma of ahankara, that is Duryodhan. मैं मुझे राज्य नहीं मैं दूंगा and all these things, and that Duryodhana. So, so this battlefield is actually our heart, and the in our heart also this continuous every action the war is going on. The 100 Kauravas represent the innumerable ungodly forces of negative tendencies within us, because many vrittis, but they all are negative tendencies. And Pandavas, no doubt, they are only five, very few. They represent the divine impulses within us. So, the uh, constant Mahabharat war is being waged within every one of us at all our crucial uh, the moments of actions. And in all cases, the negative forces in each one of us are the larger in number and usually uh, mightier. They are all mightier in their effectiveness. And while the inner divinity army is ever very low in number, apparently comparatively in efficiency. And that is why we become Arjuna, the desperated. But this Mahabharat war, the story of this Mahabharat sounds very optimistic. And we see that over the diviner impulses, seemingly we see very less, but even though they are very less, but we organize them fully and bring under the guidance of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, the Self. He, and so, under His guidance, they can easily be ushered into a true and permanent victory over, over the outnumbering forces of the lust and greed. We will win. Even though that number is less, but it is true, it is right, it is all divine. So always Satyameva Jayate. So that optimistic way Mahabharata, the story gives us. So we must be, even though the power or the force is negative, is number we see more, but still we should not go with them and go for them. We should be stick to the what is right. But Dhritarashtra is blind, and this is the only verse in the whole Bhagavad Gita that Dhritarashtra has said. Nowhere we find again Dhritarashtra. Then Sanjaya at the end he says, Rishyami cha punah punah. He's just rejoicing. But Dhritarashtra never got any wisdom after listening all this divine message, because he already is blind. So do not become Dhritarashtra, but become Arjuna and listen the Gita. So where the Gita is told, Dharmakshetre, where the battlefield is Dharmakshetra. Dharmakshetra is what? The holy plain, righteous field. So, how it became? Because in the incarnation of Bhagwan Vishnu, there is Parshuram avatar. And why this Parshuram avatar? Because the Kshatriyas became very arrogant. Uddam ban gaye the. They were uncontrolled. Because Kshatriyas, they are very valorous and powerful and they have all army and very satta. So they forgot their duty and they were misusing their powers. And that is why Parshuram came as like, he incarnated and he defeated 21 times these Kshatriyas. And that is why this Kurukshetra became Dharmakshetra. So all these negative tendencies or this wrong way that was gone away. So this field became Dharmakshetra. Bhagwan only has made it Dharmakshetra. And on this Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, the battle is going on. So actually our heart is Kurukshetra. Again, again and again, what is that? Ahankara is what? Aham karoti ti ahankara. मैं करता हूँ मुझे करना है. So always that doing is there. As soon as we wake up, even before opening our eyes, that doing starts. Kuru, kuru, kuru. It starts. I want to do this. I want to go office, this, that, and all these meetings and all. So all these things, kuru, kuru, kuru. करना है, करना है. That is going on. That is Kurukshetra. So our Antakarana is Kurukshetra. But where there is ego and all negative forces, then it is not Dharmakshetra. So when that doing is for the God, the higher motives, selfless doing, I'm not the doer, I'm just Nimitta Matra, I'm just the agent. This is all Ishwari Karya. This is all godly work. Bhagwan has given me the task, responsibility, and I am performing as his seva, as his puja. So when such thing is happening, when that kartrutva bhav, the doership is not there, the doing is there, but the doership is not there, then the antakarana, that ahankara vritti, doesn't remain and it becomes the dharma kshetra. So in antakarana, even though all the bad tendencies are there, but I know that this is wrong. So where should I go? Should I take the righteous way or this way? So of course, this way we will not go. So dharma kshetre, kurukshetre, samaveta yuyutsava. So all the vrittis are going on and negative and positive both things. And the war is continuously happening in each one of us. And then what Dhritarashtra said? Mamakaha. There we see the attachment. See, actually, Pandavas are also his Mamaka only, his sons only. At the very when were they were little children, that time they lost their father and he was the father for them. But still, that these my sons, and they are the sons of Pandu, Pandavas, Mamakaha and Pandavaha. So that Bheda was there always. He was attached to his sons and what they have done. So they had the strength. The army was larger, but the inner strength was not there because of their crimes and injustice. When there is adharma, always there is fear. And that is why what they have done. And Pandavas, whether my message, that great people, they don't uh, they should maintain their reputation by not fighting, whether it's working or not. So, what they have done, that is there. Mamakaha Pandava. And Mamaka, the Kauravas are hundreds in number. So, the hundred numbers, always negative forces are many, but still, who win? That which is right, that which is the righteous, and those who go with Bhagwan. Actually, when Bhagwan, the now the battle was fixed, it was confirmed. That time Bhagwan said, I'm one side, I will be one side, and my army, 18 Akshawani, thousands of ratha, thousands of elephants, and lot of army. So all the Dwaraka, all the Yadavas were in Kaurava side. So Bhagwan said, please choose yourself. And that time Duryodhana chose, he said, what I will take this Krishna. He is not even holding the weapon. What is the use? I want army. So the strength of the army went to Duryodhana, but the Kaivartaka Keshava was taken by Arjuna. So I don't want, this is not the question. Of course, I want my Krishna. And that is why the Pandavas represent, the Pandu is Shubhra, Shubhrata, the white color. So the white color represents the purity, the righteousness, the brightness, the divinity, and that Satvikta. So where there is sattva always is at higher level. It takes us to the that mighty, the truth. Mamaka Pandavashchaiva. Kim Akurvata. So this way the question is asked, and this question is not only, it shows the psychology of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, and also for us it is how to quest, how dramatically Vedavyas has put this. And our Antakarana is Kurukshetra, but we should make it Dharmakshetra. Each and every action should be the divine action. When that divine divinity comes, when the ego is gone, that Kuru, Kartrutva Bhav, the doership goes, it becomes the divine. So action is simple, same, but it becomes divine. It becomes the worship of God. And worship of God makes you pure. And the purity of the mind is the very means for the knowledge. And we are ready for the divine knowledge to take. Otherwise, this mud of ego and egocentric desires will make us not to understand. Like Dhritarashtra never understood any Geeta, the message. And there, such a with such drama. So Dhritarashtra has asked the question, and as the answer for this, Sanjaya gives the whole commentary, and his intention, the commentary is not that इसने ये बाण उठाया, इसने रथ लगाया है, इसने ये भाला लगाया, चलाया है, ये अस्त्र पढ़ा, but he has given the message, what the message should go. He told about Mamakaha. The first of all was asked Mamakaha. Mamakaha kimar kurvato. My people, what they have done. So he told about Duryodhana, what Duryodhana did. And there also the Duryodhana psychology is shown. And then Pandavaha. In Pandava, the Pandu is, of course, Arjuna. So Arjuna, what Arjuna did. And there he gives this conversation. But unfortunately, Dhritarashtra never understood. because he is blind, deluded, ignorant. So come out of ignorance, the darkness of ignorance, become mumukshu, become sadhaka, and walk on the path of siddhata, the perfection. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha.